Now at 5:30, UNC Chapel Hill administrators can keep their affirmative action policies when it comes to admissions. A federal judge's new ruling finds UNC's race-based admission practices do not discriminate against white or Asian students, but this legal battle may not be over. In fact, the fight for fairness in admissions is something the courts in this country have grappled with for almost a decade now.
Now let's bring in Fox 46's chief legal correspondent, Seema Iyer, who's reviewed the UNC decision. And Seema, tell us about this underlying case.
Absolutely, Alicia. Well, the big headline is this was an actual trial for 8 days. These cases never go to trial, but this one did. And this was back in November of 2020. The plaintiffs who brought this suit is a group called Students for Fair Admissions. There are 20,000 members, and you may have heard of them because they're also suing one Harvard University. And actually, during that trial, November 2020, that's when they found out that the Supreme Court of the United States is going to hear the Harvard case. Now, during the trial, there were experts on both sides. There was data, there was studies, there was statistics. But in the end, the court ruled, this is like a snippet of what the court ruled, because the court's ruling was 166 pages. But basically, the court says that race is just one factor they use in admissions. It's not the defining factor. And in fact, there is no separate admission process that people of a certain race go through. Now, I spoke to one of the members of SFFA who says that one of the issues here is actually unmeasured racial discrimination. Take a listen.
First of all, how is that measured? And then second of all, what about all of these Asian applicants who also have to overcome all of these racial barriers as well, you know? It's like trying to measure levels of discrimination, and no one, you know, in America has been able to successfully do that.
So, Seema, are the plaintiffs here saying that they don't believe in affirmative action?
No. Kenny today, he was not saying that, but he's also saying he believes in moving away from what he calls racialized treatment of applicants. Listen to some more about what he said, specifically what they discovered in their case against Harvard.
What we know from the Harvard case is that Asian Americans have to score 450 points higher on the SAT to have the same chance of admission as a black person, and 150 points higher on the SAT to have the same chance of admission as a white person. I think affirmative action for the sake of getting people to the bar is acceptable and good. I don't think racial preferences is the way to do it.
Wow, I mean, those are pretty big claims here. It's quite a discrepancy in scores. It makes it feel like there's not a level playing field here, but does he provide any evidence of how the students compare while in school?
Okay, well, I do want to say that that evidence about the SAT scores, that was part of their case at trial. And what he told me today is that when you get into a school and you're not able to compete, there's evidence that shows there's a higher dropout rate, there's a higher majority of students who switch majors, and sad to say, there's a higher rates of depression. But this is something more that the judge said, and this was in her final conclusion. This is Justice Loretta Biggs. She said that UNC met its burden in demonstrating, quote, a genuine and compelling interest in achieving the educational benefits of diversity. And she added the educational benefits sought by the university are concrete and measurable. Now, I want everyone to also keep in mind, because this is something I didn't know until I read the decision, affirmative action programs, they're not forever. They are subject to periodic reassessment. So UNC may get to a point where they decide they're going to change their program. And the UNC also gave us a full statement, but in part they said that this decision makes it clear that their holistic admissions approach is lawful. Of course, you'll get the full statement on fox46.com. Guys.
All right. Thank you very much, Chief Legal Correspondent Seema Iyer, breaking it all down for us and explaining it in a way that only you can. Thank you very much.
Pleasure.